Go.
Give him a hand, everybody.
If my lovely companion would like to introduce himself.
Yep, what's up guys, my name is Mydax. I don't run this game, but you can pretend that I do.
Yeah.
So, we're going straight into it. First of all, this is the first guy that we're going to fight out of 16 different Colossi. And it's pretty cool. This is the PS3 version of the game. Essentially, there are a number of little differences, but basically in terms of loads and just general performance and frame rate, the game's going to be running a lot better than the original PS2 version, which ran at like 5 FPS. Right here, we just stabbed the leg a couple times, and that dropped him down. In this case, for this particular Colossus, we're able to actually run during the cutscene, and we can just get directly on his head. Normally, you're supposed to climb up the leg and up his butt and his back and everything else, and we can just go directly to the sigil and start stabbing. And
yeah, so it's a pretty easy fight. Shoutouts to jump stabs.
That's the first fight down.
Easy.
Yeah, really straightforward.
So this next strat, I guess you're not 100% aware of the. It's a newer strat on quad. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do front leg strat, and if I don't mess it up, I'll look cool. If I do mess it up, please pity clap me. But yeah, we're gonna do a side jump because this game you don't actually have to charge side jumps, and they'll always do the same like amount. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and jump off of Quad's leg onto his horn and immediately onto his head sigil. So.
Yeah, so this is a good example where you're going to see some really interesting physics manipulation. This game and a lot of Fumito Ueda's work, you know, with Ico, Last Guardian, and then of course Shadow of the Colossus, has a really interesting sense of physics and the way you kind of control momentum. And a lot of times we're sort of playing off what the movement of the Colossus is and what their limbs are doing, and trying to give a lot of times like give some sort of boost. And a lot of times you get really interesting properties, especially for those who have played this game in the past and understand how this feels, because it's very, very unique and really hard to describe. So yeah, so it's when you go into this frontless strat right here, just going straight up. And then going for that diagonal jump.
There we
and
go.
So we got it. Very good.
So this is a plant that has nothing to do with positioning. It is all timing. So I got 2 stabs, which is pretty good. I would have liked to get all 2.5. Can't win them all. Oh, and I just got a nice Shadow of the Colossus meme, which is though I was on the sigil and I stabbed, it didn't count. And this is because the sigil hitbox actually moves now and then. So like, it looked like I stabbed the same place, but nah, I didn't.
Right.
Or at least the game says so.
Yeah, sigils can be a little finicky. And as far as when we say plant, obviously you can think planting your feet, planting your arms, trying to get Wander, the main character here, in a place where he can stab without constantly being shaken off. And interestingly enough, this is the PS3 version is the PAL version of the game. A lot of us that got it in the West, we kind of got the baby mode of the game, so you don't really get shaken off nearly as much. But that is the second Colossi down.
Yeah. So like as Dax was saying, the NTSC version for PlayStation 2 gave you like super strength. This might have made you feel really good about yourself, and then PlayStation 3 was like, let's take that back.
I played it and I thought, oh, I was good at this.
My favorite is all the forums where they're like, I can't beat the guy's time attack anymore. It's like, the stomach sigil is impossible. And that's just, you have to AI manip to be able to do it in like 1 cycle.
Right.
And I guess this is to that one donator. We're gonna get this guy, skip.
Yeah.
Or I guess you can't die in this game, it's really hard. But die trying.
Yeah, so there are just particular plants that you kind of want to get on certain, on a particular Colossus. So sometimes it's based on positioning, sometimes it's based on just getting to them before they start a certain animation or a certain cycle. Going straight into guys here, this is one of my all-time favorite ones. I think it's a really iconic Colossus for a lot of people. So the ideal, the casual strat typically is that you want him to swing his big sword, he's going to crack it, and that big band on his right arm, you want to break it so that way you can climb up the sword. But that's really dumb and lame, so we're not going to do that. We're going to do something way cooler, so I'm just going to chill. Let's watch this because it's dope.
All right, now the pressure's on. Oh, and I got...
I slid off a little bit on the right, yeah.
With how a lot of these work is if your timing's off by like a fraction of a second, you'll just like hop on the ground. And I guess this is one of the reasons NTA is ran more in marathons, because if this was any percent, there's like no way to really save this. There's no backup strats other than casual, and yeah, it's a really punishing game.
And there we go. Got it. Nice. Yeah, this game's hard. This game's really, in terms of the speed run, it's really hard, very punishing. Again, like we said, 80%. There's no, oh, I'm just going to press start and retry. This can't, it doesn't work that way. A lot of times you need to find the nearest cliff and jump off of it.
Yeah. And
just try to get out of it that way.
In certain Colossus, like, oh, and here's, I just came out of the stomach, but don't worry
you
about
get
it.
caught in there.
So a good example of like explaining this game is like Super Mario Sunshine. There's that one, as I now show everyone my lack of knowledge there. There's the sand bird. That's all I know it as. We're gonna have a bird like that too, and then just imagine like playing as Mario, except you have a terrible stumble mechanic, and you can just fly off because of physics.
Right.
And that's gonna be probably, well, the one thing I want to one cycle.
And one more stab? Two more stabs.
So there's the stumble mechanic I was talking about. So actually, can I do this? All right, this is what a plant is in definition. No matter what he does, nah, dude, we can keep that.
And that's guys down.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some plants on a few particular Colossi that are just really mesmerizing to see, just the degree of how water is being shaken and just nothing's happening. It's just, some are really specific, some are a little more lenient, but super useful.
Yeah, guys, this has one of the harder plants. There's a quicker strat, and immediately after destroying the stomach sigil, you make your way to the head, and you have to get the plant, and you can get as low as like 110, but I think those are ILs, and if you want to see really crazy runs, just look up the ILs, which is how I actually got into speedrunning, was seeing the ILs for this game. Like for this one, you'll just fly off the leg even cooler than I'm going to try to.
Yeah, so this one's Phaedra. Normally, you're supposed to kind of go under these little tunnels and lure him around and, climb on this thing on his butt and all this kind of stuff. Again, like we said, it's dumb, it's really annoying. So if we can get this really sick jump, there we go, got the grab. And so Plush is going to want to time this particular jump right here. So 1, 2, and again, get that boost up there to the second ledge. He's going to jump to the back end here, and now he's pretty much got it.
Yeah.
So he's going to go from up to the neck, he's going to stab the neck, and there are certain points, it's not really a sigil, it's more like a little crack, and it's usually something that signifies, okay, if you stab this, even just like one tiny brief stab, then it gets the Colossus to move in a particular way to get us to the sigil. So you'll see a few of those. In this case, he's kind of being a jerk right now, but we're just going to give him a little prick, give him another one.
So yeah, his minor sigil takes 2 stabs, and then he'll lower his neck that you can get up.
Yeah.
There are ways around that, but you have to be really quick.
Right.
And this isn't a speed run, so I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I'm really happy I got that one. There's a few, like, even in NTA, the time loss you can get is really bad. Like, there's a couple things where you can fall through Phaedra's neck if you stab wrong. Also, that's Phaedra. But yeah, you can fall through Phaedra's neck. If you stab while she's shaking, there's a chance that you'll just get rocketed and die because you'll go out of bounds. The death planes. It's very rare though, but actually I wouldn't mind if that happened because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, speaking of time loss, I think it's really interesting to look on something like the leaderboards for this game in particular, whether it be NTA or especially any percent, because the gaps are massive. You look at at one time might be, like you said, like a 120, another time might be a 140, but it's not nearly as distant as you might think. It's just because a lot of the strats in this game, especially in terms of 80%, but even NTA, are incredibly punishing. So a lot of runners typically get pretty discouraged. We were joking about this in the practice room the other day, but you really need to be a very chill, mellow person to run this kind of game. You also really need to like the game. If you're the kind of dude who's gonna, I lost 4 seconds on a strat and that's 64, and now I just want to. You start throwing chairs. It's not the game for you. But no, we absolutely love the game. So
yeah, like another thing is some runs you see and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna try and get all the strats down immediately. When I started, I think I might have done 3 actual speed strats, and a lot of them were pretty simple. Like in fact, I can show you 2 strats during this run that anyone should be able to replicate to some varying degree. But yeah, teach your mothers how to do it, and that's pretty dope.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuances and different things. Again, the engine and the movement, the physics, everything. It's very unusual for a lot of people to play compared to other kind of action platformer style games. So this is Avion, and if you want to kind of jump into like the different, well, I guess we're about to see kind of what pattern we're going to get. And you can talk about that a little bit.
So Avion will either bank right or left. I don't know my directions, so I'll tell you if I got the good one or not. So we're just going to run on this wing. Oh man, we got the good one. That means I'm going to actually have to try and get this strat. So we're going to try and do wing drop, which is not too bad. And I bounced. That's so good. So the actual easiest thing to do there is a retry. Because you might be like, oh, well, just swim to one of the things. Avion doesn't like to actually be near any of the platforms that you're on. So, and even if you get to any of the other ones, Avion's cycles are completely different. And if Avion flaps his wings, you can't stab them. And that just leads to a lot of time loss. So this is one of the things, like, as I said, you lose a lot of time. So if you're like, oh man, I don't want to lose 4 seconds in a run, it's like, okay, I just lost 1 minute and 30 seconds, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And I could still PB, is how it works, just because of how this game is. But yeah, one of the things I am looking forward to about doing this run on SGDQ is the possibility of getting new runners. If you go to like speedrun.com, if you look at anyone who has like submitted a run in like the last 6 months, they're probably more than happy to help you out. And yeah, even me, just like message me on Twitch. I have like, there's tutorials and stuff in the forums. I have some MS Paint tutorials that are all right. All right, I'm not going to go for wing skip here just because I'd rather not have us do Swimming Simulator 2005 again. So instead, we're just going to drop. So the tail sigil is pretty good. I'm not on it, but that's all right. In fact, and this is a newer strat that they found out, is that you can roll out of your stabs, which really only is applicable to a few Colossi, Avion being one of them, and that's only if you do tail first. So we're just going to walk over here. He's going to dip himself, and we're going to go for a nice little jump stab. So yeah, if you want to do a donation right now, go ahead, because this is a bit of a swimming and waiting.
Oh, you bet. We got lots of them. We got a donation of $10 from Fawner.
Ooh.
Says, wanted to make it out to the city to see my boy Plush, but life had different plans for me. Still watching and rooting for you, my dude. Much love and many lucks. Cool car.
Cool car. Shout outs to Fawner.
We had a $50 donation from Nathaniel. Says, Shadow of the Colossus is hands down one of the best games ever created. How can I not donate during this run? Very good work so far for Plush. Good luck. Put this to the runner's choice, which we have established is Ariel's song, right?
Yes, sir.
Good choice, man.
So again, like Plush showed off just a little bit ago and a bit earlier in the run too, there are jump stabs in the game. Essentially, the stabbing mechanic with the sword is based on that wheel that you see in the bottom right. And as he's holding it, it'll fill up to a specific charge. And there are situations where we want to only do a certain amount of charge or a full charge. In the case of a jump stab, it basically gives you a very quick full damage stab. And so, and of course, it's a little bit tricky because you're in the air. So if the Colossus is moving below you, you have to know your positioning so you won't fall.
So shout out to Beard Physics.
Beard physics are really cool in this game.
Luckily, we can skip the beard physics, which
Yeah.
is actually a lot more annoying than people think.
Right. Yeah, this jump is really sick. And there you go.
And this Barba does have a plant, which is what I got in. If you wait too long and you don't get it, Barba's rear will actually knock you out of plant. So this is actually the trickiest part, as I stumble a ton, is just getting to this back segment and getting in the right positioning. So we're gonna climb up a bit. And this is I guess a type of stab cycle that I thought up a bit ago. So it's like a half stab, another half stab, and then we're gonna do a full and then another half. This cancels, never mind, I'm bad. Just kidding, JK, JK. But yeah, there isn't really a plant on Barba's back, which makes it a lot harder than you'd think. This is another place where it's like, I got a 121 and you can do it. Thank you. Shout out to the audio dude in the back whose beard matches the magnificence of Barba's. Hey.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of fight that we didn't do. That's kind of a theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're supposed to like lure him to the end of the arena and climb his beard and all that, and just it didn't really have to. But yeah, that's a really good example of like we were talking about before, just abusing those physics, and you just get these really really cool jumps.
Like there aren't essentially glitches or anything. It's more just physics abuse for this game. So this is Hydrus. Can we get some Eels Bad Man in the chat if I don't do this? Shout out to puns. But yeah, we're gonna do an AI manip where we're gonna get on him a bit earlier than intended and skip the first two spines. So to do this, we're just gonna have to get to a certain leaf and we're gonna do a jump stab. I'm actually gonna be quiet, but everyone else can be loud if they want. But yeah, it's a little precise, but it's pretty cool. And this is just all AI manip.
So yeah, so it's going to get just in the right positioning, jump, to begin to get the stab. Got him, so you see him kind of stall like that. It's going to shake, so we know they're in the right position. We're good to go. So we're just gonna get
and I actually, though it looked like I jump stabbed the sigil, I didn't.
Yeah.
But luckily, there's this backup where you can do normal stabs.
Okay.
The best choice is to just jump stab the whole time and take the electrical shocks, and you can kill him before dying. But luckily, we do have backups for that. Though there is, if you panic a bit too much and start rushing, he'll do head bobs. But yeah, that's Hydrus.
And if I could break in here real quick, we got a donation from Bobbot, B-O-B-B-O-T, for $1,000. This GDQ has all the games I wanted to see this year. Have you been reading my mind? Puts on tinfoil hat. Anyway, great games, great charity. Well, thank you, Bobbit.
Yeah, you can do a couple more donations if you want.
Well, that's what I'm here for, so I'm gonna. We had Anonymous with $50. What is your favorite Colossus?
That would be Zenobia. Casually and, well, not just casual. I don't like it.
The donation goes to Runner's Choice, which is the whole new world, I believe.
Yep.
Anonymous with $20. The poetry of Shadow of the Colossus really struck me as when I played it. Seeing it again gives me the feels.
Shout out to Mono, just laying there in the background. So this is one of the strats that you can do at home. All we're going to do is whistle, shoot, and stab, which is pretty much all these.
Are y'all writing that down?
Yeah. Get your notepads, kids. So I'm just going to do a play-by-play. Switch to your bow, whistle. Just roll down these stairs. Not too difficult. Because you whistled, Kuramori is already on her way up. And we're just going to go here. Just wait a bit. Shoot, shoot. Some people may remember just getting shot a bunch by Kuramori, and this is one of the Colossus that can kill you. And yeah, we're just gonna then run up the neck if I can. This is when I like to cycle, and it's like, never mind. And yeah, you're just gonna stab, and what happens is a lot of people get antsy and they shoot her prior to climbing the whole wall, and yeah, you have lots of time to get all these stabs in, and you only need 2.5 stabs, and we'll finish it off with a jump stab. And yeah, it's Kuramori.
We got $10 from Michael. Says, you did it. That's my favorite skip. Even though I'm terrible at Gaius, here's $5 for each attempt it took.
Thank you.
Money goes to Runner's Choice.
So yeah, up next is Bassaran, who usually well, not usually, but I have my moments with Bassaran where it's like, oh man, I'm never bad at this. And then in the practice room yesterday, I was like, just kidding. So the hardest part about this fight is just getting on aggro at the beginning. If you get on aggro, it should be okay. As long as Bassaran moves, mind you.
This is honestly, yeah.
JK, like that.
Getting on aggro is harder than it needs to be.
So yeah, this is, to be honest, I think every single PB has just me missing my get up on aggro. So
there we go.
All you have to do is like start mashing X, because if you're even like a fraction of a second too slow, you're not going to be able to get up here. And we're just going to drop to leg, jump up, and
There
done.
you go. Nice. All right.
No
so
geysers needed.
Yeah, typically you're meant to lure them out over to a geyser. Oh.
I got this like kind of cool thing. Bassaran is supposed to start rearing as you go up his back, but ooh, that was close. That's one thing about, oh no, please don't fall off. Not on this day. But Bassaran's being nice today, because Bassaran will just do that and you fall off. But Bassaran's supposed to rear, and we're not actually sure if it's timing or just positioning. When you go up his back, he just won't rear. And this actually makes it almost as fast as front leg strat, which is way too hard.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Mm-hmm. It can get you a sub-minute Bassaran, but then we played around for a bit too much. But yeah, this is actually going to be a really good Bassaran. And that's Bassaran.
There you go.
We've got $15 from Skylar and Cody. Hey, Plush, congrats on being on Games Done Quick. We're so happy and proud of you, dude. From your old classmates, Skylar and Cody.
Shout outs to them. Yeah, that's pretty. They actually are the people who showed me GDQ for the first time. Hey. I like the Oz from the Kingdom Hearts kids on the couch. Shout outs to them.
Shouts to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, I don't really run this game. I'm just like a Kingdom Hearts guy, but he asked me to, and I'm like, hey, what's up?
I like this guy's voice.
Hey, thanks, man.
He's on my couch every time. But anyway, Dirge is up next. We're not going to do the arrow strat, which is probably the safest strat. I just haven't done it in a long time. So we're just going to do a certain charge on a stab. And I guess I'll be quiet for this because you can take it away.
Okay. Well, yeah, Dirge, we're meant to kind of get him to fling himself to a wall and get stunned for a while so we can kill him. But before we do that, with this stab his eye, the actual damage of the arrow going in the eye is going to be a little bit different each time, and it's kind of important as to what damage we do get.
All right, so this is the one thing about riding your horse and not being able to see anything, is you can get not exactly the greatest positioning. And so Dirge, we're just going to find him. Sometimes he likes to just come immediately after you, and then other times he's like, I don't know where you went.
There we go.
There we go, so we'll break these. Hit that arrow. Some people might remember in their casual playthroughs just how annoying it is to hit that arrow, because it'll be like, oh, it hit. And it's like, no, you just went through it, don't worry about it. This game sometimes doesn't have hitboxes.
Yeah, it can be a little strange. Yeah, so we got the eye. It's going to be stuck in the wall. And Plush is going to be going up to these two sigils and doing a few particular stabs in order to get both of them. And I believe, correct, the 2 cycles can be determined based on that damage from the arrow in the eye. So it's basically down to like a little pixel of health in the bar.
Yeah, so that's my shortened stab, and hopefully that'll be good. And then we're just going to mash roll, which just like glitches you up in for the most part. And with this, because of that damage in the eye, it actually accounts to the damage Dirge has taken, so you don't actually have to destroy both sigils. And that's Dirge.
Yeah, so if anything about that fight was slightly off, then Dirge would immediately take away his sigils and go back into the ground. You would have to do the whole thing again.
So most people are just 2 cycles, so it's not that bad.
Right.
Feel free for a donation.
You bet. We got lots of them. We got $50 from Ann. Says, Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games. It's awesome to see it played so masterfully. Keep up the great work, everybody. Can you make that promise? Will you keep up the great work?
It's kind of tricky, but I'm going to do my best, man.
No, I don't mean to put all the pressure on you, man. I'm sorry. Patrick with $50 says, Shadow of the Colossus is my favorite. Chillest runners of all time on a secretly not chill game.
We try our best. So yeah, for this Colossus, we're just gonna, everyone might remember just casually leading him to the edge, really slow. We're gonna just wait for him at the edge after we get this thing. So this cutscene you can actually move in, because if you could, it would be so much easier. But that's also one thing. There's certain cutscenes you can move in and certain you can't. So we just need to get up here, light this torch, and then instead of getting behind him and like slowly moving into the edge, we're just gonna go right onto here. Also, everyone can do this. You just take it out. The moment your sword comes out, just pick up your torch, and there you go. He's down. So this is another Colossus with a pretty easy plant. Easy in quotations, because this happens sometimes. So right now, no matter what Celosia does, Celosia will not be able to knock me off. And actually, I'm gonna wait just a bit, and we'll see if we can get this glitched kill, and we'll show you some funny things. So we just gotta wait for him to jump. There you go, freeze frame. There's a couple other places where you can get some weird death mechanics, which is like on Barba. If you kill Barba while the cutscene's going on, Barba will just like do his death animation, but the cutscene can't play, so it's in your perspective, and it just like makes all the controls glitchy, and it just seems really weird. But yeah, that's Celosia. So next I'm going to do a really particular strat that if I mess up, I will lose 45 seconds. But if I get it, I'm going to save no time at all, but it'll look pretty cool. Shoutouts to Nero, who, when I did something like this, he's like, you should do that SGDQ. And I'm like, all right, we'll go for it. So shoutouts to Nero Taku also. He's the guy, best any percent runner, NA. The Japanese community is crazy. So yeah, we're just gonna wait for him to try and shoot us. Then we're gonna try and jump up here, and then do some swag. Oh no.
Oh, oh, there we go.
All right, so we're not gonna get to do swag, sadly, which is almost worth a retry, but this is a speedrun, so let's keep it a little bit to it. So our swag strat would have been to jump to his shoulder, jump to his arm, then back to his head, which just makes you almost fall off every single time, but it looks cool. It's pretty good. So we're just gonna get Pelagia over here. I'm gonna be going for a 1 cycle, and the 1 cycle is pretty precise. No one has an exact way to do it yet. So yeah, wish me luck. Let's take some shots. So Pelagia also, if you don't get it, him in the right position, he'll just do what he wants and wander around. So for this 1 cycle, we're gonna try and position ourselves in the right up here. we're gonna have to do 1 stab, 185% charge stab, and then see where it goes. That might have been too low. I might pixel health him even if I get it. And that, kids, is a pixel health. I appreciate the clapping. So that's the closest you can get to a 1 cycle, and the worst you'll probably feel in a run, but it's all right. Man, dude, you put too much pressure on me.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to do it, but you know, just don't think about the thousands of people watching at home. Just don't think about that. Just put them out of your mind.
Shoutouts to the 25 viewers I had as max one time. All right, so we'll try and get this. Oh no, we're not. So this is where Wander's like, what is a game? So getting this 2 cycle is extremely frustrating, but we didn't get memed, so I'll take it. This is a Colossus that makes a lot of runners like quit. Just because if you hit the side teeth, sometimes Plush will be like, all right, I'm gonna turn that way really quick and you're gonna fly off and there's nothing you can do about it. I'll also show you a little cancel here. So we're just gonna jump, and he never gets to shoot. And now just for the teensiest of stabs. And that's Pelagia.
We have an anonymous $100 donation. Says, Shadow of the Colossus is my favorite game of all time, and I'm so excited to see a speed run. I can't watch it live because I'm at work, but I can donate. Hey. Kill the Colossi, save the animals.
Hey, I'm glad you didn't say save the Colossus or this run would be over. So up next we have, as I have to think about it, Phalanx. So Phalanx is someone you may have 1 cycled casually if you've played this game. The way to 1 cycle is you can just destroy all sigils and be really fast. But the other way is you just short your damage a little bit and don't destroy any of the sigils, except the last. Because you have to destroy a sigil to actually beat the Colossus. So we're going to do some standing strats, because as you saw with Dirge, my riding and arrow technique is not that great. So yeah, this actually, on Phalanx, one of the hardest parts of this is just getting on to Phalanx. Anyone who played this game might remember riding next to Phalanx, which is really cool. I really liked how they added aerial Colossi. We're going to try and jump on the side of him, and sometimes that just doesn't work, because what is depth perception?
Oh, and just as a retort to what you said earlier, Mr. Lohman says, with $10, says, this donation goes to saving the Colossi. Please stop hurting them, frowny face.
Oh no. All right. Thank you. My name's Plush. This has been Shadow. Luckily, I'm pretty sure that Kill the Colossus was a higher donation, so we're still in there. So this is another weird one where if you don't get on the fur, Phalanx is just like, I'll play with you a bit. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna short another one. I would usually just jump stab there, but we're gonna short twice. And then we're just gonna do some jumps. If you watch the IL for the strat, they like jump onto those little like phalanges on the side of him, and we'll just like rocket off those, and it's insane. So you can actually short by a lot. I'm just bad at precision stabbing, as we saw in Pelagia. Rip 1 cycle. But yeah, so this is a pretty easy fight. Like if you destroy a sigil, Phalanx is gonna like barrel roll, and that's probably when you're gonna fall off, if any. And yeah, that's Phalanx. Feel free for any donations.
You bet. We've got a donation of $500. And that's from, I'm going to mispronounce this, but Kokernage. Kokernage? Okay. Says, love what you guys are doing. Keep up the great work. Also, your current announcer smells horrible. Please reconsider next year. Thanks. Oh.
I'll check on that after this run to make sure.
Thanks, Co.
Yeah. So yeah, Zenobia is another one that if you want to do the strat, you might get really frustrated. But shoutouts to Bobby Kaze, who found out how to do this strat. Well, this backup strat if I don't get a pillar skip, which is where you, actually maybe I should just show it off. Show off what we have done with this run.
Go for it.
So what we're gonna do is in this casual fight, you wanna destroy every single pillar and use that to get to the next area, which is why this is my favorite Colossus in a sense of a casual setting. Then when they were speedrunning, they were like, we don't really wanna waste 6 minutes of climbing. So what if we just take Zenobia to the very end, and you get her up next to that pillar, and you jump off of Zenobia onto it. So this is the backup strat if I can get it. If Zenobia doesn't. All right. So Zenobia is doing what Zenobia does, getting in the way. Also, Zenobia is another one that can kill you. Oh my god. As I say, thanks for the backup strat.
Yeah, this
I'm
grab's
so
a little
sorry,
weird.
Bobby.
When you actually do get it, it's almost like,
There.
yeah, there you go. It's like you're magnetized to it,
Yeah,
essentially.
so that's the backup strat, and if you want to run this game, definitely learn it. All you have to do is hold R1 a little prior to actually getting to the ledge, or I guess a little after. So there is a bit of wonkiness. Yeah, so this is another Colossus where when we only had pillar strat, you could lose up to like, well, 4 minutes to a reset just because of you have to jump off of Zenobia's leg as she turns. And that is a lot harder than it is because this game is like, you should just stumble right now. This is a cutscene I can move in, as you saw me jump off the top. What they did is they allowed you to move in some cutscenes because in the PlayStation 2 version, you just like fall off during a cutscene and you could get hit, and then especially on Zenobia where Zenobia can kill you and like just ram you into a wall. It was just the best option for making it like viable to a sense. So Zenobia's in position, we're just gonna jump over here. And yeah, so this is gonna break Zenobia's armor. It's one of the casual aspects of this game you do have to do because Zenobia's sigil is completely covered, which is the same with Celosia. Both of them are the tiny colossi with armored backs. And I'll just jump on his head, don't worry about it. But this plant is all over the place sometimes. There we go. So,
Yeah.
as we just reach and hope. So what you're supposed to do in casual is you make her run into any of the pillars that are downed, and then you stab as she's getting back up. And that isn't really necessary, since all of them have a tiny plant. So that's Zenobia.
We have a donation from Rodin for 50 bucks. Says, got to donate for Shadow of the Colossus. Such a beautiful game with amazing music. Let's make up for killing those colossi by saving those animals.
So this next one is another physics abuse. There is a guaranteed belt launch, but you don't exactly have the guaranteed stamina to make it after that. So we're going to try our best to get up as soon as possible. And this is another fun one to watch, I think, because if you played this game casually, you remember having to go up the sides, and it's this long ordeal to get to the top, and then you make Argus break one of the, I guess, arches, and then jump onto his head. We don't have time for that, so we're just going to kind of try and get on him from the ground.
Yeah, so right when he dips his knee right there, he's going to get the first ledge grab at step one. Time it just right, and yeah,
So
gotta restart that one.
this is also in any percent, this is one of the few that you have an easy retry on, because there's a cliff behind Argus you can use.
Yeah, you just run straight off.
Still, you lose like 15 seconds because the fall is so slow.
Yeah, so he's going to hold the charge jump, wait for the right moment.
There we go.
Next part, all right. And then, yeah, so he's on the belt now.
So I'm going to try and reposition by jumping here just because it seems to work the best. And now we're just going to hold a diagonal jump. And if she works, we're going to get a kind of funky, oh wait, we're getting the funky slashes. This might be it. No. So we got, this is where the game isn't that nice. You don't get to choose what walk cycle you get, and you don't get to choose your positioning that easily. But this is going to be the guarantee, so if you can make it to the belt, you can do this next jump. All you have to do is hold diagonal up left on your controller and just hold jump until you see half your stamina charged. And this will just abuse the physics a little bit.
And there we
There
go.
we go.
All right, got it.
So as you can see, my stamina is like, what is this? All right, so we're just gonna stab him so he doesn't do anything. That is his walk though. His walk is very jarring and you can just do it. So we're gonna just get a little bit of stamina on his shoulder. You can actually plant for some reason on the shoulder, which you don't need to. And if you remember Argus in casual, you remember how annoying it is to like get any stabs. So there is a plant, and it is kind of hard to get. Okay, we got it. And once you're in it, if Argus does any of its rears or shakes, you will actually be knocked out of it. So yeah, this makes it extremely easy. In fact, if this plant wasn't in it, I don't know if I'd speedrun it. Okay, I'd still speedrun this game, but maybe not as much. So yeah, also it's like, with how Argus just moves, there are so many options. Until you get Argus's sword out of its hand, you are not safe. So we just have to get a little over here, and this is a minor sigil, like on some of the other ones we saw. And we just have to get a little stab. And this is a cutscene you can move in. So we're gonna drop. We're gonna try and position ourselves right. This is kind of hard because you have no way to really judge where you are in most of the cutscene. But we're gonna stand around here, and Argus is gonna drop his hand, and we're just gonna get into it. This was intended because I think this was the intended strat, was just to fall off after getting it. And he dipped on me. Yeah, so, and then Argus is like, wait, I thought you were supposed to be on my hand. So this is, like, you have to do a small jump. If you do a big jump, a lot of time you'll just like mesh against it. But yeah, that's Argus.
Yeah, in terms of the amount of like shakes and stagger and stumbles that you can get on any of the Colossus, Argus is absolutely one of the worst.
This is probably the Colossus that brings the most rage to the community, because it's the 15th Colossus, and if you play any percent, this means you've made it through 14 Colossi, you're like on PB pace, and you can be on PB pace by like 10 minutes, and then Argus is just like, I'm just gonna walk forward and you're gonna fall off. It's like, okay, sounds good, dude.
Yeah, so we're on our way to the last Colossus, Malice.
Yeah, so Malice, everyone remembers, I always say everyone, but it's only the people who played this game. No. So we're just gonna go for a nice walk. Usually you have to go through the trenches, and it's really too much of a hassle. There's a new strat which you actually just take bullets and just keep going, because why not? But that one is what seems to be frame perfect. So this game doesn't have any RNG really. That really affects the run. So we're just gonna like walk through this whole section.
Yeah, you can see all these little tunnels and passageways here you have to kind of go in and out of, but if you just know where to go, you can avoid it pretty effectively.
So we're gonna go for pitless. we're gonna get shot. Luckily, if you ever got shot right here, which is where most people get shot going pitless, you can just stand right here. And there you go. So that's the approach to Melis. Not too bad. In fact, it was a strat that I implemented a little early. There are a couple small things about it that matter, but yeah, I guess at this point, just shout outs to the Shadow of the Colossus community. We're pretty tiny, but everyone loves helping anyone who's new around this game, because like everyone who runs this game really loves this game, and we're always happy to see anyone who really wants to as well. So the casual strat for this is you're gonna stab him in the back, get like onto his hand, shoot him in the shoulder, or get onto his other hand, shoot him in the shoulder, then go to that. But we only really need to shoot him once in this case, and I'll do this strat. So this is another place where it's like, I might lose 10 seconds here just because it's a very small portion, or I'll get it first time. Sweet. All right. So this strat is easier than casual strat, in my opinion, because we're just gonna like stand here, and then as he lifts his arm, we're just gonna jump.
He's gonna be really shocked.
Oh, he's like, what? Why are you up here? And yeah, there's an easy plant that you may have got casually, because just if you walk to it and start grabbing this, we're just gonna wait 1 second and stab. And time will be coming up pretty soon. And time.
Time is 46:39.
That's pretty good. I'm happy with that, with how this game can go. So yeah, my time estimate was 55 minutes, but that's just this game, man, someday. All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed.
One more hand for Plush, everybody. All right, don't go away. We've got Marathon Infinity coming up with Aperture Grills. But we've got lots and lots of donations that came in during Shadow of the Colossus. I want to tear through some to let you know how much they love you, Plush. $10 from Anonymous says, Shadow of the Colossus is such a great game. Used to watch my buddy play, and it took him longer to get on the horse than it takes you to beat the game. DJ Dark says, watching a Shadow run for the first time live is amazing. Tried some of the speedrunning techniques used in the 2015 SGDQ run by Meows, and it was fun. Good luck to Plush on his run. Shout out to my friends on the RPG Maker web community who are watching SGDQ this year. Oh, and kill those animals. We got $5 from Fake Disney Fan. Says, Zeke, a whole new world is from Aladdin. Ariel's song is part of your world. Thanks for correcting me. I appreciate it. I love when people correct me. Donation goes to Friend Like Me from Mulan. Anonymous with $20 says, binge watch all the previous GDQ and love everything you guys do. Keep it up, everyone. And hype for Shadow of the Colossus, a game very near and dear to my heart. Shout out to my fellow gaming gals out there. All right, looks like we got a word from our sponsors.
Rated E for everyone.
Yo, Earl.
world, we made it back to Earth.
And it only took 26 years. Not bad.
First thing we need to do is get some new pages. Mine must be broke, because I haven't gotten a page since 1991.
I just hope people recognize us now that we're all high def and whatnot.
Earl, I'm red with 3 legs, you're orange and huge, we're aliens, and we're mad funky. People gonna recognize us. Toe Jam and Earl, back in the groove. It's an all-new adventure game from 1991, coming in 2017 to PC and console from Adult Swim Game.
All right, as we're gearing up for Marathon Infinity with Aperture Grills, we got lots more donations to get through to read off for you guys. Warrior Sentoki says, with 50 bucks, absolutely love Shadow of the Colossus. Really hyped for the run. Good luck and thanks for everything you do, SGDQ and Doctors Without Borders. I got a donation from my boy Ramzal with 50 bucks. Just says, Zeke. Thanks, Ram. 50 bucks from another one of my boys, Johnny Scar, says, keep up the good work, Zeke, and good luck to all the runners at SGDQ. My donation goes to Zeke's Choice. Now, my choice is that Crypto the Necro Dancer Diamond All Zones Extra Run. It looks like we're at 6,062 out of 7,500, so we can definitely hit that before the end of my time here. We only need 1,500 more, a little less than 1,500 more dollars to get that Diamond All Zones run on Crypto the Necro Dancer. Here's some great music by my friend Danny Baranowski. Binary Cupcakes with 150 bucks donated says, this Colossus run is blowing my mind. Thanks for making my workday amazing, GDQ. Shout out to everyone behind the scenes and to support class for this sick layout. Donation to Announcer's Choice. Like I said, going towards that diamond run. Thank you very much, Binary Cupcakes. Goalzilla donates $50 and says, love Shadow of the Colossus and love what GDQ is doing every year. What does Plush think of the new remake of this game? Oh, sorry, that's my bad. I was a little late on that one. I'm sure you can find him on Twitch. Send him a message like he said. 10 bucks from Smell You Later, Gramps. Don't be mean to the announcer. He smells fantastic. I'm smelling him right now. You hear that, Co? I smell fine. I smell fantastic even. Mordecute with 25 bucks says, the announcer is doing a great job. Friendly note though, part of your world is the song from Little Mermaid. A Whole New World is from Aladdin. Yeah, I get it. I screwed up, all right? Who are you, my dad? All right. Anonymous with 50 bucks. We'll donate another 50 for anyone who can recite Bungie's Oath of the Vidmaster. Maybe I'll read that one again and see if the runner knows that one. P. Teals with 20 bucks says, can't wait for the Shadow of the Colossus run. Well, a little late on that one. We're trying to get through as many as we can. We can't get to everybody, just want to let you know. Shout out to my brother in the spooky basement. We may be estates apart, but watching SGDQ makes it feel like being back home. All right, the godly voice in my ear has told me that we're on to the run of Marathon Infinity with Aperture Grills.
Okay. All right. Hi, I'm Aperture Grills. This is Marathon Infinity. This is a 1996 Mac exclusive first-person shooter made by Double Lot and published by Bungie. It's the third in the Marathon trilogy. I'm going to be playing on Total Carnage, the hardest difficulty. And yeah, I'm just going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So first level, is supposed to be rather long and kind of moody, but there's a secret switch behind that panel, that light panel. I'm stuck. Okay, I will have to restart this. Sometimes you just die, get stuck at the very beginning, but that's okay. Getting out of this first room is like the first hurdle for doing attempts of this. For some reason, if you stand on this thing, the AI tends to just leave this room, so it takes a little longer, but it's a safer way to exit. So yeah, behind that light panel, there's a switch that opens this door I just ran through, which normally you have to run around and swim through a bunch of big sewage plants and stuff. So the plot of this game is incredibly complicated, but basically the universe is about to end, and in this terminal, we are entering an alternate timeline where the events of Marathon 2 did not happen, and we have different allegiances. So those 4 fighters that were just fighting us, now they're on our side, and we're fighting these enforcers. So we're on a ship controlled by the 4 who are the main antagonists of this game. They're alien slavers, and yeah, the other 4 have mutinied on this ship against their masters, which you learn in all of these text terminals that I'm not reading.